Welcome back to Coffee Time. Today we're going to look at an app that is new to me, although it might not be new to some of you. I really like to use my iPad and my iPhone to take pictures, and I'm always looking for apps that help me edit those pictures in a way that make them better than what the regular camera can do. And today I ran across an app that it was one of those that immediately I thought to myself, where had you been the whole time I've had my iPad? So today we're going to look at a photography editing app that I think you'll like, especially if you're taking pictures, portrait kind of pictures, or other kinds of things where you want to get a depth of field appearance that is really realistic, as if you would get in a DSLR. So we're going to look at an app called Big Lens, and if you would like to grab a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, we'll take a few minutes and look at this app, Big Lens. All right, so Big Lens is an iPhone app, but it also works on the iPad, and because it's an iPhone app, it only works in the portrait mode. So I'm going to pull it up here, and when you open it up, it comes preloaded with this image. So we'll just work with this image, although I could have taken any number of images and done something with. And what I want you to notice, first of all, is at the top are the options to either load a photo out of your camera roll, or to take a picture from within the app, or we can use the sample picture. And at the bottom, there are also two options. One is the basic option, and the other is the advanced option. And so we're going to show you both of them very quickly. But in the basic option, what I get is this circle that I can pinch bigger or smaller, and whatever is inside that circle will stay in focus, and whatever is outside the circle will start to fade off. So if I just touch here, it goes away, but if I put my finger on the screen, I can see where it is and I can move it, and with two fingers I can pinch it out or back in again. And so once I do that, you'll notice the rest of the screen immediately goes blurred. Now I have a few presets already in here from the last time I used it, so I'll kind of show you around what this is. Down at the bottom are some options, and the first is aperture. And the way that you get this look of in focus up close and blurred behind so that you have this real depth of field is by widening your aperture. The larger the aperture, the more the things in the background are going to be out of focus. And so basically what you're doing when you open that aperture up is you're letting in more and more and more light, and you get the focus in closer and closer to the camera. Now you'll notice here at the bottom I have a number of aperture settings, and if you're not familiar with photography, the smaller the number, the larger the aperture, and you'll see that in the images here. So if I go all the way over to 1.8, you'll see those things in the background get really, really blurred. And that's probably way too much. So at 3.2, it's not bad. But here's part of the difficulty with this circular effect is her face is in focus, but then her hands and things at the bottom are not in focus. So I have another option. Down here at the bottom, you'll see circle or linear. And if I go linear, I can twist this with two fingers. I can just turn this around so that it goes straight up and down. And so now she is in focus, and the screen behind her is out of focus. I can make that wider so that it sort of blurs out a little less. But then what you notice is over the top of her is still in focus. So this is just the basic way to look at things. So let me take you through the advanced, and then I'll show you more options at the bottom of the screen that are available in both. So I'm going to go back here, and yes, I know all the things will be lost. So this time I'm going to click down here on advanced. And this is a two-step process. At the bottom now I have this brush. And with the brush I can put my finger over wherever it is I want to be in focus. And so I'm just going to start kind of brushing around her. I'm not going to take a lot of time here. but you can sort of see, I'll come down here, we'll come back up. And if I were doing this for real, I would be a little more careful with all that. So now I have her highlighted. If I want to take a little bit of that out, I can take the eraser tool and I can come in here, sort of take a little bit out, maybe where I've got it too close to her body. There's also a lasso tool which will help me sort of grab that, and the auto tool which will also help me. I'm not going to take time to show all those in this tutorial. So now I'm going to go up here to the upper right hand corner and click Next. And now that takes me back into here. Now I've got her in focus all the way down and everything behind her out of focus. So again, let's look at the issues at the bottom. Again, I have aperture settings, so I can open that aperture up a little bit and make it more blurred in the background if I want to. I really think that's way too much. But I'm going to leave it there for just a minute because I want to show you one other thing, and that's here under the lens. If I click on lens, see all these shapes down here at the bottom? If you'll notice right now, the one that's highlighted is that starburst shape, and the light in the background is shaped like that, and we call that bokeh. And what it does, it alters the way the light in the background looks and gives it a particular shape. On my Canon, when I take things like this with a 50mm prime lens, I get shapes that look like this one over here on the far right. I got these little hexagon shapes. But I can change this where in the background now the shapes sort of look like hearts. And if these were lights in the background rather than just coming through the trees, you would see this a lot more. I can also change them so that they kind of look like stars in the background. I can change it to more of a starburst in the background. Or what happens most of the time is it's just sort of in a circular motion. So these are some things I can do down here for bokeh, and that's under the lens. I can also take quite a bit of changes here with the filter, and so I can make this image look quite a bit different by changing some of the filters in the background. And I kind of like that one. It's a nice vivid color. I can also come over here. You'll see all kinds of things. I can make it a little more dreamy looking if I wanted to. And here we'll darken the background a bit. So all of this is to say, with the touch of a button, I can make these images look much more like what I can do with my DSLR. And there is a compare button here. So this is the image we had. This is the image we have now. And again, I didn't take a lot of effort going around her head. You'll see kind of, where it's not exactly what I would want, just on the left side of her hair there. But with a little touching up, I could get that to happen. And then if I want to send it out somewhere, I can either send it to the camera roll, and I can also send it to Facebook or Twitter. I can put it up into my Dropbox account. All kinds of different things that I can do here with the Save button. So in a nutshell, that is the Big Lens app. What it does, it allows you to get that depth of field look, and really, really, really will help you when you are taking pictures of individuals to make them look more like professional portrait photography. So give it a try. In the meantime, enjoy the coffee, and we'll see you again next week.